Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I guess, is it afternoon?
Start over. I'm sorry, guys. This is going to be the worst podcast ever.
I get off at 5, so.
Oh, my stomach
Oh,
hurt.
do you really get off at 5?
I cramped.
Oh, dang, we better hurry up.
I cramped.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us today with the Flea with Kirk and Seth. And we're going to introduce to you guys what we do every day. And hopefully you guys get a little bit of enjoyment out of it and some little bit of laughter, a little bit of fun. But also kind of hear about what's happening out here in Hartville. So, Kirk, take it away, buddy.
Seth. Yeah. So thanks, guys. It's crazy. We're already coming up into March. Or we're in March, but we're coming up into April, which is kickoff of busy season. And we've got a lot of stuff going on, and we've got all kinds of ways that we interact with our customers and our audience. And we just thought, doing a podcast and reaching you guys in a whole new way would it'd be a great way to reach some new people. So,
Kirk, why don't you expand on a little bit, like what is the Flea? We're called the Flea. What is that?
So the Flea, it's a two-part piece of the marketplace. So we've got our 50 or so indoor shops, right? And then we've got the flea market outside, which is comprised of anything from produce vendors to Beanie Babies to toothpaste to antiques to plants to much Beanie Babies.
Wow.
They have lost their value though over the past
Have they
couple
really?
years. Yeah, don't buy Beanie Babies to
right.
resell. And then it's free enterprise out at the flea market, so if you're an artisan, great. If you're a junker, great. If whatever you're doing, it's a great platform, especially for small businesses kicking off to, excel their business. So it's a huge draw, and it's a big part of what we do. It's where what year did we start? 1939?
1939. We started off as a livestock auction, Kirk. So, and you've heard this story, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, it's a good story.
Yeah, started off as a livestock auction in 1939 and just kind of expanded the business. And we'll get into this at a later episode. But today we are, about 13 acres on the blacktop area out there, and that's just the flea market area. So Memorial Day, Labor Day, we got a full crew out there. So we got usually about close to 1,000, 1,200 vendors outside. Would you say,
Yeah.
Kirk?
Yeah, it's full.
So we got about 1,200 vendors. We get usually about 30,000 people that come out there, and so believe it or not, we got a lot of stories to tell. So and that's kind of why Kirk, that's why we started this, right? Why we wanted to start this podcast. We were sitting around and we were talking one day, and we're like, man, we're sharing stories with each other, and we're like, man, all these stories, we could write a book or do something. And
and we've each heard the stories 100 times, so and we still laugh at them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, Kirk, just real quick, what happened on our first Memorial Day? You remember that?
So we're gonna do you want to spoil one right now?
Just give a little spoiler. We'll talk about it.
Okay, so it involved us outside, a nice altercation with a middle-aged gentleman, very nice guy, until we had to tackle him and wait for the cops to come. But he meant well.
He did mean well.
He did mean well. And just because he banged his head on the police cruiser doesn't mean he has problems.
Right. And he was just there trying to sell some stuff and make a living, right?
Yeah, it's okay. I got checked out by the paramedics. I was okay.
You did get checked out by the paramedics, too.
I did.
Dude, I don't know if you ever recovered from that.
I don't know, but you went high and I went low, and it was beautiful. It's not funny. It was glorious.
We'll get into that story later on, but...
Well, hey, why don't we, so there's a lot of people know us, they might have seen us on Pickers or something else we were doing with the events, but why don't you tell everybody your involvement with the company, your history with it, you're fourth generation, and I think people would find a lot of value knowing that the family is still extremely involved and still owns the company.
So where do you want me to start?
Well, the day you were born.
Okay, well, I was born in 1981. No, I really was, but yeah, we started off, like we said earlier, we started off as a livestock auction. My great-grandpa, Saul Miller, and he would have been kind of an entrepreneur, a little bit of an entrepreneur, but his son Howard Miller was my grandfather, and he was really the entrepreneur who took it to the next level, and he tried a lot of things, and failed at a lot of things, but also was successful at a lot of things too. He was not afraid of making mistakes, and he wasn't afraid of failing. But he was also somebody who wanted to help the community, very community driven. And to this day, we hold his values and morals as high standards for our company. Always putting God first in the decisions that we make, and giving back to our community, and taking care of our people, and our team is what we call our staff here, is our team and our family, and those are our goals and our objectives. And so today I run the flea market portion. So the Hartville MarketPlace, I'm the general manager there. So about 2 years ago, I took over from my father, Marion Koblentz, and he retired. And so that's my responsibility, is to manage and operate the Hartville Marketplace and flea market.
Well, you were involved with the hardware and other aspects as a teenager, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So I started off, trying to remember what I started off doing, mowing lawns and weeding our property, and just doing all the little things just to work. And I was 13 years old when I started. So I don't know if that's allowed these days or not, but
we won't talk about it.
Okay, thank you. So I was 13 years old when I started, and just kind of worked and did whatever needed to be done. And I worked at the hardware for a while, worked in about every single department, and learned about every department here, and thought, well, maybe I'll do something here at the hardware. Worked at the marketplace, cleaning trash and setting up vendors and all that kind of stuff too. So we moved away to Morocco, and started some businesses there in Morocco, and came back after a couple years, and got into the business and started working hard, and eventually became the general manager here.
Yeah, and you have a family for yourself, right?
I do. I have a beautiful wife, Lindsay, and 4 beautiful children. They're all the way.
You have so many of them, you had to think about it.
Yeah, I was trying to think how old they are and what their names are again. No, I'm just kidding. Makana is my oldest, and then Mia is my second. Makana's 15, and then Mia's 13. Tayden, he is 11, and Benaya's 8. So I got a good range, and they're all over the place, man.
You guys are busy with sports, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. But enough about me, man.
Oh, it's generally always about you, Seth, but I appreciate the spotlight for a couple minutes.
I'm not very happy about our logo here. It says the Flea with Kirk and Seth. I don't know why your name's first.
I just want one moment, man.
And my name's second.
Just give me this one moment.
Very disappointing.
It's
very
okay.
disappointing.
It's okay, and I'll continue to disappoint you, but I'll recover with the Flea podcast.
Who does the marketing for you guys?
Her name's Kelly.
Oh, Kelly. All right, we gotta bring her on the show.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk.
We
to
need
her.
more help than just Kelly can offer.
Kirk, let's hear about you, man. So tell us about you and how you got involved. I know how you did, but these people want to know how you did.
It was a different way to get involved. It's not, the typical is I'm going to fill out an application. I think this place is a cool place to work. But so I was dealing antiques here for years, mostly on Saturdays, and you start to get to know the vendors, and you start to get to know management, and you get more and more involved. And then I forget, one day I was talking to you, and you're like, "Hey, we should try some events here. That'd be really cool." And I was like, "Well, I want to be involved. Like, how do I do this?" So I was working full time then, and I started spending so much time here. I was kind of like, "Well,
why don't you just pay me, Seth?"
Yeah, let's just yeah. I mean, the free labor is great for a while, but it'd be great, Seth. But no,
I thought we could continue on for a couple more years.
That's okay. I didn't mind getting ripped off for a short while, but
yeah,
no, it was good, and I started with that, and then when your dad was still here, he's like, "Hey, let's bring in part time. You can help with some events," and then I was spending 30, 40, 50 hours here, and
we need to bring my dad on the show here.
That would
at some point.
Yeah, he'd
be an interesting guy to talk to.
Top 5 guys in my book. He's an amazing guy. And I'm
number 1, obviously.
And I'm sorry about that.
Number 1.
Are you finished? Can I keep
going?
Go
ahead.
Okay,
finish.
Thank you. So, and I'm super appreciative of your dad because he gave me the opportunity here, and I think very highly of him. But so yeah, we started doing that, and then working full time, and started doing the events and some of the marketing pieces of it, and it's kind of just snowballed. And we've got Hartville Pickers the number
We do.
one, the number
We
one
do.
streaming video in
before,
America.
Before we get to Hartville Pickers, though, I mean,
well,
I wanna, hold
marketplace
on,
pickers.
hold
sorry.
on.
Okay.
Before we get into that,
Well, it's just okay.
let me hear about your family. Do you have any kids?
So I have 3 kids. I just wanted to be like you and
I
think
knew he
about
wouldn't say anything about his wife first.
No, well, that's okay.
Just joking, Katie. We love you.
So married 15 years, and there's a grace period of 2 or 3 years there, so I'm fine. I know I'm in the middle.
Is that a new number?
No.
15?
Yeah, it's like a German accent.
Wow.
Married about 15 years. Caitlin, we went to high school together, and then we have 3 kids. Riley's 8; she's in 2nd grade, and then Elias, aka Bud. I had to think about his name. Call him Bud.
Yeah, we don't even know what his first name is.
No,
It's
he's
just
a
Bud
mystery.
Bud.
He's 4, and then little Molly, she's 2. So we live in Louisville, and we do our thing. But
You got chickens now?
we are proud owners of a family of 10 chickens.
Oh, wow. Awesome. 10 chickens.
10 chicks.
Chicks, right.
Yep.
So Kirk, so now that you're part of this, what we do here, and you're part of the family, go ahead and expand a little bit more on the pickers.
So a couple years ago, we collaborated, and came up with the idea of, hey, American Pickers is a great show about finding junk out in the natural setting, and there's all kinds of great junk that shows up at the flea market. So we're like, hey, let's do a spinoff of the American Pickers show, and with our relationship with Robbie Wolf and all that, we've been doing it for years now. And
Who's Robbie Wolf?
he's one of the brothers off of the. Who
American
Robbie Wolf is.
Well, I know, but some people might not know who he is.
I don't have his birth date or nothing.
Well,
what do you want me to give him?
Social Security or something.
He's one of the brothers on the American Pickers show, and so we brought him out here for one of our events as a meet and greet, and then we had a relationship with him. So the Marketplace Pickers has been a fun spinoff. We use it for YouTube and all of our social media and stuff, and we know it's poor entertainment, but it's fun, and people like it being organic. They like seeing some of the stuff we find outside.
Yeah, we're idiots, man. We're idiots.
That's okay. We're
but
good at it.
It is fun. It is fun. And we have an awesome media guy who does all of our videography and stuff. His name is Titus Kurtz.
When he's available. When he's
very
available,
busy.
he's spectacular.
He's very, very
but
busy.
the canceling the 2 days before,
Right.
so it does get a little frustrating.
He's got a lot of people that want to talk to him. So
That's okay.
But anyways, Hartville Pickers, Marketplace Pickers is kind of a new and up and coming thing that has been on YouTube, right? We put it on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube and social media.
Okay.
It would be nice to use it in a bigger scheme of things and get some bigger platforms. But
the greatest thing about it, though, is it's kind of our everyday life out here at the Flea. I mean, there's so many different things that you can find out there. Stories to tell, history to tell about certain pieces that you find out there. And
that's going to be one of our first main episodes. Is some of our best finds.
Oh yes, okay, that's a great idea.
We've found some really rare items that are one of ones that might be in a museum one day.
What do you collect?
Anything I can make a buck on.
Oh,
you like that segue? No, really, old signs are fun. Gas and oil, old tin toys.
Yeah. What I kind of got a little bit of an interest in is I watched this show on Netflix. It was called it was something about the history of bourbon or something like that, and it was talking about just the different bottles and things that bourbon comes in, and people, I mean, huge collections. I'm like, man, I've seen some of these bottles out here at the flea market. I'm like, you don't think about how much something could go for if you find the right person, and I was thinking about that. I was like, man, I could make a little bit of money off this if I wanted to, but it was kind of interesting. So
there's a collector for everything.
There is a collector for everything, and the Flea's got so much of that out there.
Yep.
So
yeah, we'll, with this show, we'd love to give you guys those stories of some of the cool things we found. Another thing we want to do are some interviews. We've got some really great connections. And on top of the marketplace and the flea market, we kind of forgot to mention the Hartville Hardware and the Hartville Kitchen. It's all part of the same business.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't realize they know one of these businesses, but they don't realize that all three are connected under one umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think who we should have in tell that story about the history of all the businesses. Probably my dad would be a good one.
Yeah, your dad or Howard Jr. would be good.
So we'll bring one of them on here and tell the story and the history. But we consider ourselves a campus out here. So there's a ton to do out here.
And one of the most, I would say, one of the most popular questions that we get over at the marketplace on a daily is, how do you become a vendor? How do I do this thing called the flea market?
Yeah.
So I think we should devote some time to an episode on walking people through, hey, when you pull on our property, this is the area that is best for selling antiques.
That's a good point.
This is where all the produce is. And how do I do it? Well, we can walk you through the steps, because it is intimidating. It's a big property. There's kind of a lot to look at and to figure through. There's different pricing, different days of the week. So, we know it can be a lot to take on for somebody. So it'd be really good to inform everyone so they can come out and feel comfortable when they come onto the campus.
That's a great point. Skylar Miner, our outdoor flea market manager, I think would be a good person to have explain some of that kind of stuff. But, I think, to go along with that, Kirk, I think, not only that, but, the difference that we have between the outdoor flea market and then the indoor marketplace. I mean, those businesses are a little bit different. They are very unique and all have their own uniqueness to them. But, they're comprised of businesses that are open every single day that we're open, Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right? So, it's just a different type of business inside, and explaining some of that and going into some of that detail, I think would be good. So,
sidebar question.
Yes.
So, in your free time, which we know is limited to not very often,
are you asking me out?
Well, I'm forward like that. I'm not shy. What do you do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time?
That does not involve your kids. What's something that you enjoy doing that doesn't involve the family?
Wow. So I really honestly don't have a ton of free time. My kids are very involved, and I'm involved in whatever they're involved in. But apart from that, I coach basketball for Lake Center Christian School. I'm JV head coach there, and JV boys basketball, and varsity assistant basketball. So that keeps me very busy. I grew up playing basketball, love the game.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah,
just real quick. I know we're running short on time, but I remember hearing the story. I don't know if it was on TV or I don't know if I read it in a newspaper.
It's true.
But
didn't
you block LeBron in high school?
I did.
Now, he was a freshman. And you blocked him from behind.
Usually I don't say that he's a freshman until the end of the story.
Okay, but
or if somebody asks.
And you blocked him from behind, so he technically didn't know you were there. But I just wanted to clarify those are the facts.
This is going to be a story on a later episode.
Okay.
But I will give you a little tidbit. All right. So the block, the one that LeBron had in 2016, the block.
Yeah, we know the block.
It was very similar to that.
Oh, it was. So you pinned him on the backboard.
Pinned it on the backboard.
I had a different vision in my head.
Game-winning block shot.
Okay.
So you know what he was thinking about when he went up there to block that shot by Iguodala.
So he literally should have taken the mic and thanked you for the inspiration.
You know what?
But we don't need to.
We don't need to. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
No, that's fine. But you don't need the glory, right?
No, you're right. You're right. And when he said, "Cleveland, this is for you," he was actually saying, "Seth, this is for you."
And then you woke up, right?
And then I woke up. So yeah, we'll get into that story at a later point. I know you guys are all
we'll have lots of fun stuff to share.
Yep.
We're excited for this opportunity. And yeah, if you guys, if there's topics that you would like to be covered, if there's anything in particular that you'd go, wow, that'd be really interesting to hear that how our business works or something with Seth and I, we're always up for ideas on discussions.
How can people give us ideas? How can we be reached, Kirk?
I don't know, Seth. That was kind of I have no idea.
All right. Well, I'll tell you.
I'm not sure. Okay.
All right?
I just wanted to offer it.
There's a couple ways. Okay.
I don't know.
There's a couple ways. All right. Hartville MarketPlace. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. All right. You can message us on that, or the other thing is you can email us at info@hart. That's HARTMP, like marketplace.com. So email us, give us some ideas. We'd love to hear what you guys think and what we can talk about.
And I'll give the number also that they can reach us at.
Do not give me, dude.
41. Oh, you got your cell phone?
You better not give my cell phone number out. All right.
All right. I'll give the business line.
We'll do that on the next one. All right.
I'll give the business line 330-877-9860. So
that's my cell phone, dude.
No, it's not.
All right. You're right.
So yeah, if you guys have any, suggestions or, just want an autograph or something, we're always willing for our fans. Why is that funny?
That was funny, dude.
It was funny.
Hey, one other story that we can tell is about Kirk's tattoo that he's going to get. It's pretty exciting. So
if you
we'll
like
talk
Mickey
about
Mouse, tune in. It's so bad.
that. All right. Well, you have anything you want to add? Anything else?
I don't think so.
Hey, thanks for coming out here and joining us on the Flea. And we look forward to our next episode. So we'll be in touch. So make sure that you guys reach out to us at info@hartmp.com or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up.